Okay, how we doing? We doing okay? My hair is getting super long. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Should I cut it? Should I keep growing it out? I don't know. It's a fun game I'm playing right now. I wake up one day, I want to cut it. I wake up the next day, I love it. I love everything about it. I don't want to cut it whatsoever. So I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, this video is not about my hair. However, before we get started, I do want to tell everyone that I am very thankful that you have all been very patient with me. I have had a number of subscribers, views, and so many of you continue to reach out to me through Instagram, ask questions, and even I think there may be some potential really exciting things coming for the channel. Also, another thing is I am trying out the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation, so let me know what you think in the comments below, because I put a foundation on, I think, wow, it looks amazing, and then I watch back while I'm editing and realize it's awful. So I'm still trying to find a really great foundation and makeup routine for filming, and you and your comments and your messages really do help me to make these videos better. Let's seriously get into it this time. I asked on Instagram, my story, for questions that you have about Korea, and today I am going to be answering them. My first question comes from, Jen, I miss you. On a scale of 1 to hooker, how much do you miss me? I miss you, hooker. So hooker! My next question actually comes from someone I can't talk about just yet, but you should subscribe to the channel for some more really exciting videos to come. How easy or hard has it been to make friends in Korea? That is a really, really, really good question. I want to answer this first by talking about foreign friends here in Korea. Foreign friends here in Korea are extremely easy to make because we have a lot in common. Not only are we foreign, but we have lots of common experiences here. The Korean people tend to be kind of quiet, talking to strangers in Korea, talking to Koreans and Koreans talking to other Koreans, if you don't know one another, is very weird. But, you know, as foreigners here in Korea, I feel like we do really tend to gravitate towards one another. We're always finding each other. We're always wanting to talk to each other. So I have definitely found it extremely easy to make other foreign friends here in Korea. On the other hand, I think it has been easy to make Korean friends here in Korea, although it has been difficult for me to make long-lasting, real friendships with Koreans out here for a number of reasons. The first and foremost being that I am still learning the Korean language, and I don't care who you are, you know, it takes a lot of patience to hang out and tolerate especially someone like me who's still learning the language and butchering it on a daily basis. Not only that, but I do think that I have had a few experiences where someone wants, you know, the foreign experience, they want to hang out with a foreigner, they want to take pictures with a foreigner, they want a foreign friend for social media, and then, you know, once you've served your purpose, then I get ghosted. And I don't mean that to be, I'm really just trying to be honest. I'm really not trying to be rude or offensive. It's not just me who's experienced this, but it is something that you should definitely look out for, especially if you're in the dating or hookup realm, which is a whole other video. Do you miss Ohio? Well, that's not how she wrote it. You know how you wrote it. I'm not gonna repeat it. Do you miss Ohio? I do miss Ohio. I particularly miss Cleveland, my hometown, because I love the people. And I also do miss the comfort of being able to go anywhere, anytime, and know what's happening around me and being able to communicate with everyone. I also love that back home in Cleveland and back home in America, you can talk to strangers, you can smile at people, you can say hi, you can ask questions. It's a lot different here. That kind of thing is definitely seen as a little strange, but I also just miss Ohio because I really like the state. I'm of course biased because I'm from there, but I really do like to think that Ohioans are some of the nicest Americans. And I also just miss my friends. I mean, come on. Do you think it took a long time to get used to the environment? That's a really, 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 really good question. I have been fortunate enough to have visited Korea twice before deciding to actually live and study here. And I do believe that those 2 trips were really, really, really beneficial in helping me know what I'm getting myself into, what to expect in the long run. So the environment socially, I think, was easy for me to adjust to. However, the school environment still is quite shocking to me and very, very, very difficult. It's very strenuous. It's very hard for me to describe. I think that I would really need to set aside some time to be able to really pinpoint what exactly is so different about the actual education here, but it is not like the education I received in America in any way, shape, or form. So for the first few months I was here taking the actual Korean Language Institute courses, I feel like I was not only learning Korean, but I was learning how to study and how to work and learn within the Korean education system. So I would say that that's been the most difficult thing to adjust to here. One thing that scares you about living abroad. This is from Jessie. Thank you. That's a really, really, really good question. I think being 100% myself, because Korea socially is very different. And in America, I can be 100% myself and I can say things I want to say and I can do things I want to do. And here, things are still very conservative, being who I am, my sexuality, my love of makeup, and my tendency to not really fit into the typical male role, I think, is one of the most challenging things for me out here in Korea. And that's, once again, something that really does deserve its own video. The culture here is different. It's very different. There are so many great things about being here, and there are so many challenges, especially for people like us, that I think is probably the scariest thing for me still. To sum it all up, just really being able to cut loose and be myself here is still a challenge. And then the last question is actually along those same lines, and this is from Xander XO, who is another real sweetheart on Instagram, and they ask, what's the LGBTQ plus movement currently like? Which is another great question and very similar to the one that we just talked about. There's a lot of pushback from the older generation, and the younger generation here is moving so rapidly in a liberal direction that it is fascinating to watch. With Korean history and with how quickly this country boomed economically, globally, socially, the older generation naturally loves to stick to tradition, and the younger generation, with the internet and with access to, cultures and music and movies worldwide, they are really pushing toward a bright liberal future for Korea, not just in the LGBTQ plus realm, but in terms of feminism, gender equality, the list goes on. And so it's discouraging for someone like me who is very thankful to be an American and thankful to have grown up in a very liberal country. And we have a long way to go. We all agree with that. But it's discouraging for me to see, because of course I know what it's like on the other side. But it's also exciting to be in such a climate, because people are really fighting tooth and nail every day for acceptance here. And that kind of motivation, I think, is just so commendable and exciting and motivating. And some of my best friends out here are really active in the gay community, and to them, it's so cheesy, but to them I'm just so thankful. They are pioneers. I don't know. It's very cool. It's very cool there's a lot of really great information out there on the internet. If you're interested in this topic, I'm really not doing it justice. I would say that here in Korea, it's still very, very conservative, but rapidly, and I can't stress just how rapidly it's becoming very liberal. So that was my final question. I am so thankful that you guys showed interest in helping me make this video. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that button, like this video, leave a comment, let me know how my makeup is, let me know what videos you want to see in the future, and to be a part of future YouTube videos, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. I love to chat with you guys and ask for advice in how I can make my future YouTube videos more entertaining. Everyone, please stay safe out there. I love you, and have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day.